Well, now I can find out from you. The other day I was talking to Steve Martin. We were talking about terrible intros that we had.
You know Steve Martin?
Oh, 2 Grammys. I Honestly Love You, Olivia Newton-John. Producer John Farrar. Jolly good, jolly good.
Accepting the award for Olivia Newton-John is Art Garfunkel.
Which one of you's Ringo?
I thought I told you to wait in the car.
Are you ever getting back together again?
Are you guys getting back together again?
No. It's terrible, isn't it?
Still writing, Paul?
There you are, my dear.
I
It's all
accept
yours.
it on behalf of them. They can't be here, and I'm sure they're very grateful for the honor.
He's
Thank
so
you.
serious.
Now, you know, Paul was here once before,
I watched.
and Paul said a few things about you that I want to ask you about.
He's a very unusual guy. He always was, even when he was 10. He was, you know, the first time I really met him, he was in this candy store which we used to go to after we would get out of school, and he was this kid, and he was shaking boxes of Good and Plenty.
One was that as a young fellow, and maybe even still now, you had a habit of shaking boxes of Good and Plenty.
Well, wait, I didn't say that he had a habit of shaking boxes of Good and Plenty. That sounds like he just kind of did that. When he went into a candy store,
Oh, that's right.
he would shake the box of Good and Plenty
They're two
to
different
see
things.
which had the most Good and Plenty
Yeah.
in it. It wasn't always he was shaking boxes. It was a candy store move.
I see.
I
I'm
watched
sorry.
that show, and I thought the point he was making was that I was cheap.
You both did pretty well in the interim years, haven't you, when you've been going so? A couple of boo-boos here and there. I mean, a film that went through the floor, as it were. But
I
some-
did very, very well, Art. However,
Yeah.
almost no success at all.
Yeah.
You gentlemen work as equals, a team. On the road, do you need a guy to be the leader?
Sorry.
And if so, and if so, how would one select the person to be the leader?
Well, Paul was born before I was, so since he's 17 days older, he usually does that.
No, but then we figured out that even though I was born before Art was, actually he was older because I was born prematurely.
So why you got together again now? You feel that you're seeing each other in a new light now, are you?
Yeah. Well, Art, as you know, is dying from an incurable disease.
No, I don't think that's technically true, but
I need the money.
Now, who was Tom and who was Jerry?
I was Tom.
Uh-huh. And was that what?
I thank Art Garfunkel for sharing the amazing days of our early success. The sound of his voice with mine was how I imagined the songs I wrote. I regret the ending of our friendship, and I hope one day before we die that we'll make peace with each other. No rush. I want... Just kidding, just kidding, just kidding. It's New York.
Art was telling me there is sort of an interesting reason to work to put on a large show in Akron, and he gave me a few facts about the city I didn't know.
Rubber. What else did I say, Dave?
You said that it was a city that breaks a lot of records.
Yeah, Akron used to be a big record market. Remember that? DJs used to break records
yes,
for their
that's right.
songs.
Yeah, that's right.
Does it still happen there? No, what?
This is Art Garfunkel, formerly of Simon & Garfunkel. I'm here in the studio to talk about something that's very important to me. You know, a lot of people feel that when an important recording group such as...
Art?
Yeah.
Let me interrupt you a minute. It's not quite serious sounding enough. Try to make it a little bit more, grave.
Okay. This is Arthur Garfunkel, once of Simon & Garfunkel. One of the things that's disturbed me through the years has been people's reaction to the breakup of Simon and Garfunkel.
Artie, try and play a little bit more on emphasize the word disturbed.
One of the things that has disturbed me through the years has been people's reaction to the breakup of Simon and Garfunkel. You know, a lot of people have taken it as a comic event and have not realized that only with deep, real feelings of separate commitment can
I like that part about the separate commitment.
Can such a breakup actually take place. Only by two separate individuals pursuing their own individual paths and following what to they is the God of their own choice can two people who were once so close end up...
Art, try and work it in that I'll be doing a major college tour this fall.
Who were once so close follow two paths which are so divergent, whereby I, for example, record material that I feel expresses my soul, and you, Paul, who are doing a major college tour this fall.
I don't know how Paul Simon sees Artie Garfunkel these days, but here's something I wrote about him. Who will speak at whose funeral? When I said, you'll outlast me, Paul, you live more carefully, he said, well, write out what you want. Okay, it's hard to say I knew Artie well. He was enigmatic to himself. Which of us was more aware? Which one was the elder? I was born November 5th, he on October 13th, a few weeks premature. Were we both conceived at the same instant, February 5th, 1941, the dead middle of the winter in the heart of World War II? Was I born at the right time? For 2/3 of a century, his arm has been around my shoulder. He's dazzled me with gifts. I nurtured him in his youth. He brought me into prominence. I taught him to sing. He connected my voice to the world. All of our personal belongings are intertwined. We say it's exhausting to compete, but we shine for each other. It's still our favorite game. It goes on, this embrace, whether I speak for him or he for me. Love ruled our lives. It rules the mourners and the winner of longevity.